How do prepositions define relationships in language? Imagine trying to describe where something is or when something happens without using any words that show connection. It would be pretty confusing, right? That's where prepositions come in. They are tiny words that act like bridges, linking nouns or pronouns to other parts of a sentence. These links help us understand how things relate to each other. Think of prepositions as the words that tell us the position, time, or direction of something. They make sentences clear and precise. Prepositions start what's called a prepositional phrase. This phrase includes the preposition itself, its object, which is usually a noun or pronoun, and sometimes words that describe that object. For example, in the phrase on the table, on is the preposition, the is a modifier, and table is the object. This phrase adds detail to the sentence, showing where something is. Prepositions are especially good at showing spatial relationships. Words like above, below, next to, inside, and behind tell us where something is in relation to something else. For example, the cat is under the bed uses under to show the cat's position. Without prepositions, it would be hard to picture the scene clearly. They also help us talk about time. Words like before, after, during, at, and until specify when something happens. For example, we will leave after lunch uses after to tell us the timing. These words make it easier to tell stories or plan events. Prepositions also show movement or direction. Words like into, onto, toward, through, and across describe how something moves from one place to another. For example, she ran across the street uses across to show movement. They help us explain actions clearly. Some prepositions explain reasons or methods. Words like for, by, with, and like give us more details. For instance, he thanked her for the help uses for to show the reason, or she painted with a brush uses with to describe the tool used. Prepositions can also show possession or origin. Words like of, from, and with help us understand who owns something or where something comes from. For example, a friend of mine shows possession, and he is from Canada shows origin. In terms of how they are used, prepositions connect the object to the rest of the sentence, making the meaning clear. They are usually short words that are spoken quickly and softly. In speech, they often sound like to or duh because they are unstressed. Dictionaries list prepositions with their phonetic spellings to help us pronounce them correctly. Knowing how prepositions work helps us build better sentences. They let us describe where, when, how, and why things happen. This makes our communication more accurate and easier to understand. Mastering prepositions also helps us get better at reading and writing because we can understand idioms and complex sentences more easily. So, next time you want to say where something is or when something happens, think about the preposition that can make your message clear.